Our world is very complex. And as an artist, I think when we make things, we have to ask ourselves about the meaning of life. Like, why do we live? What does it mean? We don't have answer, but some of this work has to speak about our condition of humans. I went to art school in London, and that was the time of the young British artist, YBA. And London was very exciting. Everyone was making video. We are living in an environment with moving image. If you go to the city, you will see lots of images in a bus, in a shop, and in a station, everywhere. This is how we interact with moving image in a daily life. If we can experiment with a moving image as an object, then we can kind of deal with this situation, not only psychological aspect of the moving image, but also the social aspect of the moving image. Video is like time-based art, but we can play the physical aspect of the video. So we can treat the video like moving image as an object. It's not only about you sitting on a couch watching TV, but when you have few screens, then each screen start to interact each other and start to create their own system of meaning, and which is not possible with film. So this is great thing about the museum, that we can explore, we can experiment with physical aspect of moving image. AI is amazing technology, but at the same time, of course, I get scared too. It works too well. We know that our life is not only something can be reduced to digital data, because our everyday life, we live with emotion, we live with relationship. The AI is not directly dealing with image, but AI is dealing image through language. With art, we can see more. AI is so much based on data, and AI is really good at dealing with language. But for example, image is different. So I make video with AI now, but how that works is like the AI is not directly dealing with image, but AI is dealing image through language. First, somebody has to point out that in this image, here is a leg, or here is a tree. It's not that AI is dealing with image as such, but AI is dealing with image through language. And that's where I think art, for example, is a way to give form to this aspect that cannot be simply digitalized or reduced to the digital. We create a representation of who we are, not in the digital form, but in another form. And I think art is one way of doing this. Ethically, that's wrong to say that it's made by AI, because I'm making all the important decisions over and over again so that AI can produce something for me. This sculptural series, I call it altars. The altar is a place that people give prayers, and it's a sacred place. And it's a place where you communicate with transcendental, with God, or with nature. Lots of rituals, they have fires. Fires are something sacred. Yeah, technologies are substitute of the fire, which means these technologies are also sacred. We are using these technology to collectively become more than we are. Collectively wanting to become transcendental, but there is a negative side to it. We are giving our bodies as offering to expand our desire and try to become something transcendental. So far, there's no hope actually. This is mortar with human bodies. We have to find a way to connect the bodies. We have to be able to feel the pain and desperation of these hands and feet. But once we get there, it's so sad. I feel like, oh, this is not the way we should treat other human beings. Yasujiro Ozu is my favorite film director from Japan, and he's the master of film. And he went to war in China during World War II. And he was actually in the unit to spread the chemical gas in China. And he kept a diary and talks about what he did. And it became a quite important document for us, that we learned that we used chemical gas to attack China. During the war, he was keeping ideas of making war film in the diary. And he wrote many scenes at the beginning of the war. But towards the end, he stopped writing all these scenes. And then after the war, he never made any film about war. His films are about daily life, beautiful daily life of Japan. I took the frames of his films, and I with charcoal reproduced these film frames. And using an eraser, I erased these images. And by erasing it, I kind of draw the fog or gas onto the image. So by erasing it, I'm kind of exposing the kind of repressed history of Japan. We could never ask our grandparents, so what did you do in China? Or what did you do in Philippines? But you could see their scars in their bodies. But there's no way that we're not allowed to ask all these questions. There's a big taboo about this. You could feel it. You could feel the taboo. But we didn't ask. And once these people are all passed away, this feeling of taboo has gone. So now we don't know what we did, and there's no taboo in the society, so that all this memory has disappeared, all this history has disappeared. Right now, what's happening in Japan is that it's a collective amnesia. This cruelty has forgotten completely. The Angel of Testimony, it's very shocking work, of course, and also it's very strong work, and which speaks directly about our taboo. The reason why I started to work with young people is that I made a work about kamikaze pilots. They are like suicidal pilots. Towards the end of the World War II, lots of young people, like 5,000 young soldiers, had to be on an airplane, and they had to fly with big bomb, and they had to commit suicide and attack the American airplane. This is like the worst thing that we can do to the young people, I think. We had this aesthetic value that death was a beautiful thing. Choice has always this two dimension. You experience your choice as your decision, but also this choice is also conditioned by the society, by the education. That's why I thought I should work with young people, because these young people are quite vulnerable towards the choice that they have to make. The Theater of Life, I made the work with kids who immigrated from Uzbekistan and Kazakhstan and Ukraine and all these places to Korea recently. And they are teenagers. So it's not their choice to come to Korea, but they are the people who originally immigrated from Korean Peninsula to Soviet Union. These young people came with their parents. It's not their choice to come back. So they are very Russian. They can only speak Russian. If they were younger, it's much easier for them to adapt to the Korean society. And now they have to go to the college and they have to make their choice. And without knowing all these histories, it's so unfair for them. I think they are very burdened by this heavy history, so that I wanted to create a situation where they can have objective view on who they are. So since all the taboo is gone, and since all the memories are gone, so that now there's a big space for revisionistic stories to be spread out. There's a big narrative in the social network that as if we were good people helping Asian countries, and there was no cruelty happen. Of course, it sounds better than we were bad. So it's catching more people's attention, and people start to really believing in it. And once people start believing in it, strange thing happen. If there's a fact, then there's a counterfact, and people start to believe in all these counterfacts, and people start to forget, and people rewrite the story and so on. All these things. So history is made through all these mechanisms, and artists are the one who can deal with this whole mechanism and show how it works. We kind of crystallize this complexity so that we can grasp it, so that we can understand what's happening, so that we can crystallize the complexity and we can share it with people. This is like one big role of what we can do as an artist, I think.